take those two right turns, and when they make the final turn, they can begin to hear the crowd and the noise of the open end of the stadium.
Here it is, the most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to an in-season edition episode of the Two Right Turns podcast. I'm Alex Bina, your host for this week, and with me today are two redshirt juniors, two offensive linemen, number 71, Tristan Leigh, and number 53, Ryan Linthicum. Gentlemen, look at us, man. Look at how far we've come. Thank you very much for being here with us today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the offensive line play. We're through 3 games of the season. Some might say the first quarter of our season. And I want to get a kind of an idea of how you guys feel the season is gone and what's really stood out to you about the play of our offensive line.
Yeah, so I think offensive line play has been really great these last 3 games, and that's just a huge credit to Coach Luke. I mean, that Coach Luke coming in here, man, it was a blessing for all of us, especially as a player, but even as a man, he's continued to help us all, 5 of us, actually the whole room, grow as leaders, and especially in then our play, if we just keep doing what we're doing, buying into what he teaches us, I think sky's the limit. So.
Yeah, no, I think we're definitely proud of some of the things we've done in the games. I know collectively as a unit, how we talk is that we feel like we have a standard for ourselves that, we've done some good things, but we're still leaving meat on the bone. There's still a lot of plays out there. We're not satisfied with where we're at. We're not as good as we're going to be, but I think we're all excited for what's to come. I think we're going to have a great year.
That's incredible. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and your play has gotten praise not just from the Clemson faithful, not just from the staff or your teammates, but former teammates as well. After this last game, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but KJ Henry tweeted out how much joy he's been getting from the offensive line play. He said, hey, Clemson O-line, KJ Henry here, big fan. What is it that he's seeing out there that might be piquing his interest now that he's on the other side of things?
I mean, KJ is a great guy. He's a great leader. A lot of us have gone against him, so I think just his perspective, he kind of saw us when we were younger guys, kind of trying to figure it out. And I think he just sees the effort. He sees how much we care, how seriously we take, him passing on that torch, their class passing to us, him, J-Mac, all those guys. We take that seriously, and I think he sees that with how we play. But, KJ, he's showing love. He always going to show love. He's a Clemson guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I say the same thing. KJ, he'll always show love. I appreciate that tweet for sure, KJ.
Yeah,
but
love.
I think he just, seeing the O-line, just, playing their role, playing their 1 of 11 every play, not trying to do too much, just, take their role and, do it to the best of their ability. So I think it was an awesome tweet from KJ. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's love.
Speaking of playing your role, you guys have both been here a couple of years and have really, grown a bigger role in our offense and on this team, both in terms of leadership and on the field play. What's something that you have learned over the course of the last several years, maybe before you really started playing a lot, that's helped you and prepare you for this moment?
I would say how much you can learn from others. I was fortunate enough to get to play behind Jordan McFadden. I mean, everybody in here knows how good he is. But, he was the dude. You know what I'm saying? He won the Jacobs Award for best offensive lineman in the ACC, and I got to watch every day how a pro prepares. His attitude, the way he took notes and stuff like that, the way to practice, and I think just having an example like that, it was huge for us. But I don't know what you want to say.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing, having Will Putnam here, he was there for 5 years, started 4 years. I think it was tough for 3 years, not really playing as much as I wanted to, but I knew deep down that it wasn't the time, and I just kept trusting the process. The coaches kept believing in me. I think really just, having self-awareness, knowing where you're at, and I think that was one thing that both of us did really well, just kept taking it one day at a time, knowing, the time's coming, and when the time's coming, you got to be ready. Yeah. Because if the time comes and you're not ready, it's not going to end well. So I think just, learning behind Putnam, I was fortunate, playing in the NFL now. He's a great leader, somebody to learn from. So I think, it was especially J-Mac too. I didn't play tackle, but J-Mac had a lot of, besides position-wise, like J-Mac taught me a lot of things on how to be an offensive lineman and how to work. So, I'll just say those older guys being here, it was really beneficial for us.
I'll say too, like, I didn't mean to cut you. I was gonna say, like, too, like, I think just from being here during the time, like, you experience pain, like, with your brothers, like, we watched those guys be older seniors and you know what I'm saying, put everything into it, and we won the ACC and stuff. We saw that what it looks like to play your last game, and we ended up falling short in the Orange Bowl. Like, we saw that pain for 4 years. So you learn that you got to take every single day seriously. Like, you don't get it back. Opportunity, like Coach Sweeney says all the time, like, you don't get opportunity back. And I feel like it's just the longer you're here, you feel how like small the margin of error is to win. It's one play here, one play there, and I think that's why we're gonna have a great year. We understand how important execution and details are.
You mentioned, something that Coach Sweeney says, and we hear a lot of Sweeneyisms over our time here in this program. One of the things he says a lot is the concept of the crockpot or the bamboo, something that, you put a lot of work in, you put your head down, you put a lot of time and resources in, then all of a sudden, you shoot right up. Mm-hmm. Ryan, you've been described as the MVP of this season so far this year. What's it like hearing that kind of title early on in this kind of first year as a starter? You're already playing over 170 snaps this year. Like, what's that mean to you hearing that?
Yeah, I think it. It's just a blessing of Coach Sweeney believing in me. Keep my head down, but just patience is key. I knew that my time wasn't my time yet. I know if I just kept working, my time would come, and that's a credit to Coach Luke. That's a credit to the guys believing in me. I couldn't do it without them. Couldn't do it without Cade. Couldn't do it without Phil. So I think just trusting the process and staying in that crock pot. I mean, it's a real thing. Like, people, if you stop trusting it, your time will never come. So, and the main thing is now, I mean, we're through game 3, but you got to be consistent. You can't be up and down. So I think just being consistent is the biggest thing. You're seeing that we can do it. We just got to do it every week. Game 1, game 2, just got to be consistent every day and put your best foot forward. So
a lot of times, offensive line, you're not raising trophies, you're not getting a lot of individual accolades, and I think part of that reason is a lot of folks don't understand what they're looking at when they're watching the offensive line play. They see the result, and they give a lot of credit to the ball carrier. But I wanted to take a little bit of time to watch some successful plays that you guys might have seen this year to give you guys a chance to teach the viewer what the offensive line looks like. So here we've got a running play, a running touchdown by Mr. Haynes. What are you seeing from the offensive line that allowed him to spring this touchdown?
Yeah, so I'll say I'll come up to the line, I identify, the defense that they're in. And, the simple call, they got a 5-man box, so we got those 5 guys. It's a draw play, and, if we just get in front of them, our running backs are that good, they're going to make it happen. So if we can just, do our 1 of 11, like I said, the running back will take. We got the best backs in the country. So, I mean, if we just do our job, I know they're going to do their job. So, I mean, great to see Jay get in the end zone. Super proud of him, man. He works hard. He's a great back, communicates well, man. I'm really happy for Jay, man. He deserves it. So,
I'll say, like, for this play, specifically, like, not giving away what we're trying to do. I mean, it's a halfback draw, so but we're kind of setting in a way to influence the defense to rush upfield so that we have those lanes. And then, obviously, the interior guys did a great job climbing up, and then Jay going to do the rest. Like he said, he's a dude, you know what I'm saying? So you get those guys in space, good things are going to happen.
Now here we have a Cade Klubnik's long touchdown run, so you spring him, and then he takes the speed takes over, gets him to finish the play. But what's it look like in those first 5 yards to get him that opening?
We talked all week, NC State's Coach Luke did a great job getting us prepared. NC State's linebackers fly around, and they're very downhill. They feel fast, especially off that double team. So I'm reading Blake's heel line. And Blake, what a lot of people don't see is on GT counter plays, a lot of people watch the pullers to see if it's going to be successful. But if you really watch the right tackle, 78, Blake, the movement he gets on the 4-eye creates so much space that I'm able to get in there, and Cade has this huge hole to run through because of the space created from Blake moving that 4-eye to the other hash. So, that's the key, just execution. And we rep that all week, and it was exactly the look we've seen in practice. So I think that's a testament to Coach Luke, it's a testament to our preparation during the week. And then Cade finishing the play, he's a dude. So dudes make plays, and that's what he does.
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out to Troy Stellato on that block right there in the second level. That was the touchdown block right there. So our receivers, it wasn't just the O-line on this play. It was everybody, contributing. And I want to shout out Troy. He blocks really hard, and I'm proud of Troy for that. It was an awesome block, and, first touchdown of the game got us rolling. So.
How much pride do you guys have as our offensive line in the blocking of the skill position players?
I'll say a lot of pride because I feel like I have a lot of respect for them because they have so much stuff to worry about, when it comes to the concepts and everything that they got to know to show effort like that and blocking like it. I think it shows how close we are as a team, how selfless we are as a team. Those guys want to see everybody win. Everybody wants to see each other win. So I got a lot of respect for guys, putting effort like that. He's a dude, like we were talking yesterday, like Troy was all over the place at practice, like making plays, going hard, and you saw it like in the game. Like he's a dude, and that was a big for us. I'm proud of him. So,
Ryan, you mentioned a little bit on that Haynes touchdown that you're kind of identifying what the defense is giving you pre-snap. How hard is that as the center trying to get everything set up before the play even starts?
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but that's what a center does. I mean, I knew that was my role. Coming in this year, I got to take that next step mentally, and I think as being a center, getting everybody on the same page, the tight ends, the offensive lineman, the quarterback. I think that brings confidence in everybody else around you, and I think that you play better when you have confidence. So I think that's my role, is to make sure everybody has confidence regardless of position, and I think that's a huge role as a center, to be successful in all aspects of the game. So,
you talk a lot about confidence, and that's something that you've credited Coach Luke with instilling in the O-line. And we talk a lot about Sweeneyisms, but what are some phrases or some common bars that Coach Luke drops that you guys will be, quoting to each other in 10 years?
I really like practice makes permanent.
Yeah, that's the same one I was going to say.
He says it every day.
What's that mean?
Practice makes permanent is that he says it doesn't matter, you are what you put in, like you are what you put on tape, and we're creatures of habit. So the habits you create, like it's what you're going to do. You can't show up to the game and be a different guy. Like you got to be that same guy at practice, or you'll do something different in the game. He always talks about like the first 2 drives, you all ramped up, full of all this energy and stuff like that. But as the game goes on, you revert to the techniques and the mindset that you play with in practice. So I think he just stresses how important practice is. But that's what practice makes permanent means. Practice makes you who you are as a player, what you're going to be. So that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. And just like a little side note, like practice makes permanent. A lot of people say practice makes perfect. But if you practice something that's not perfect, then it's not perfect. Like what you practice is permanent. So if you practice something great, it's gonna be great. It's permanent. If you practice something not good, it's not gonna be perfect. So it's not good. So I think practice makes permanent is one of the best quotes he's ever told us, because it really sticks true to what it means. So.
I wanted to mix it up a little bit and talk about the last 2 games we've been able to play at home. We've played at noon. We've played at night. Historically and traditionally, the defense always gets, credited with the effect of the fan base. That's when they get really loud. As offensive linemen, what is it like playing in front of our home crowd, and how do you get kind of amplified? How does your play elevate when you have almost 90,000 people behind you there?
I mean, for me, it's just like I just step out there and I see it. I'm just filled with gratitude. Like, I mean, you have a responsibility and a job. Like, when you go out there, like there's no anxiety, there's none of that, because you're doing something that is bigger than yourself. Like, you have a job to do, and every single person in there is counting on you to do it, or your teammates, the whole state of South Carolina. So like, just stepping out there and knowing that everybody in there has your back, like you got to go hard for them. You know what I'm saying? So I love that, and they always show love no matter what. Seeing how it gets electric and explodes when we making plays and scoring touchdowns, like we got the best fans in the country, and they show it every single week. So it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. The fans really don't know how much we appreciate them. You know, they're a huge a competitive advantage as well. You know, so I mean, and it doesn't matter what time the game is, 12, 3:30, 8. The fans always show up and they bring the energy, and we really do appreciate that. I mean, that's huge. So we really love you guys.
You know, we mentioned earlier some of the compliments coming down from the Twitter sphere from former players. We have another one here pulled up on the screen from Eric McLean of ACC Network fame, Mr. Clemson himself. My goodness, this is art, in reference to the blocking structure on this Haynes touchdown. What does it mean when you see something like this? Do you guys pay attention? Do you see stuff online, or you just have it fed to you during podcast episodes?
Nah, not really. I feel like we try to be really inside out as an O-line. It's always about, what's next. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's fun to go score touchdowns, fun to go win games, but, can we go execute on Saturday? Can we go execute today, Monday practice? And to get praise from one of our guys, like, he's one of those guys that set the foundation for us, and, we're not able to have, the platform we have without those guys and everything they sacrifice. So just to hear that from him, that's an honor. But, I think we take it as, we did some good things, but we're not where we need or want to be yet. So we got to keep rolling, keep stacking days.
Yeah. I'd say the same thing. It's awesome for, old O-linemen to, give us some shout out, but, there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot in every aspect. And, we do it, got to come out and practice, this week. It just all starts over, a new week, new game. So I think if we just, keep that mindset, we got areas to grow in every aspect of the game. So, awesome to see, Eric giving us a shout out. I really do appreciate that, but, a lot of work to do for sure.
Well, gentlemen, the first quarter is in the books. Going into the second quarter, what can Tiger fans expect to see?
Consistency. I think you'll see a team that's battle tested, that loves each other. You're going to see effort. We're going to be the same guys every single day. We're not changing, for an opponent. We're not changing for anybody. It's about execution and staying inside out and playing for each other. So that's what you're going to see. You'll see that effort and love. That's all I can.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. You're going to see love. I mean, I was talking to Tristan today in class, and I was just saying, like, bro, this O-line, like, we really love each other more than just teammates. Like, we'll love each other forever. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, a huge success on why we're having success up front, because we'll play for each other. If one of us is, having a bad day, that other brother's going to bring us up and be like, hey, we got to get rolling. Mm-hmm. So I think you're just going to see a lot of love. We're playing with love. And I think, that's the big thing, love, mm-hmm. man. So I think that's awesome.
I mean, it's different. Like, it's different. Like, I play next to Marcus Tate. Like, I live with Marcus Tate. I've known Ryan since I was 15 years old. I live next to the dude I play. Like, I know his background. Who he is. When you know that much, about somebody, and you've had those, conversations. You've been real with each other. Like, you're gonna go that much harder for him because you don't want to let him down. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we have that relationship up front with Cade. I mean, with Phil, everybody, the whole team. I mean, we're on the same page. We're just ready to keep rolling, ready to do our thing.
Both of y'all from the DMV. Yeah. Anything you want to shout out about where y'all coming from?
Shoot, man. Shout out to 703. Shout out to the whole DMV area. Man, shout out my guys back home. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. It's best football in the country from the DMV. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate the love back home.
Appreciate
from
the
guys,
love. Appreciate the love.
DMV on top, though.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it from another episode of the Two Right Turns podcast in season edition here in Studio C of the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute. Make sure you subscribe and watch our episodes on all platforms. Go Tigers. We'll see you next time.